All right, good day, everybody. This is Marcel Pertut, the Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined by Henrik Anderson, runner for Georgia Tech cross country. Henrik, how are you doing today as you get ready for the regionals?
I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Just excited for the region meet, and yeah, we got some anticipation for that. Other than that, yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, and before we get to the actual ACC Championships in the regional, when I was doing my research, I came across the article on the Georgia Tech athletics website, Running for a Purpose. You went in depth about your family and your history of running.
hmm
What was that like for you to open up and discuss your family, and particularly your parents, and just your history with running?
Yeah, no, it was an awesome experience to be able to really get to share that. If you read the article, I talk a lot about my mom in that, and that like I run for her, which is like the biggest thing for me. It was awesome to be able to share her story because that's how I like love to run. Is I got to honor her by telling her story, and so being able to get that out there is was really a great and awesome experience, and something I truly enjoyed doing. And I'm just like I'm happy that you read it because if you read it, that means that one more person gets to know about her, and that's a win for me. So.
Yeah, and what's the reception been like for people that are in the running community, but someone who's also lost their parents through their journey of life? How's that been received? Have you heard from people about it, even other family members, about this article and what it meant for you?
Yeah, so my family like really enjoyed the article. They were like just as happy as I was that that like her story got to get out there and was shared. And then as far as like other runners or teammates or people that have seen that article, all positive feedback pretty much. People talked about like that it was very inspiring and that they thought it was very brave that I was able to share that, and I was more than grateful for everything that's come back from that. I've been truly blessed by the people around me, so I really love that.
Yeah, I highly recommend that people go to the Georgia Tech Athletics website and read that article, "Running for a Purpose." But let's turn it to you right now in your current season. You
Yeah.
just participated in the ACC Championships, yours individually and as a team in Indiana a
Mhm.
few days ago. Just what do you take from that race, and what were your thoughts on how the team performed?
Uh, so it's probably no shock to anyone that 12th wasn't the team place that we were looking for. But I wouldn't say that it was that we didn't get anything out of it. The attitude shift that you can see across the board on our whole team is just palpable. Like we are so amped up and ready for regionals, and we had a great meeting with our coach after the ACC meeting where we just talked about training and like commitment and like what we need to do to be perform at the highest level. And we're like going forward, we are committed and we are ready to go. So coming for this region meet, I'm excited, very excited.
Yeah, and what about you individually? You ran a time of a 25, 21 in the race. What did you feel out there? Were you comfortable out there? Do you see areas of improvement? Did you have some good portions of the race? What about you individually at the ACC Championships?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like I got out very well. It's a fast field out there. It's probably one of the most competitive conferences in the nation. The runners out there, they're all really good. It's tough to be out there. And I think I had a decent day. I had an okay day. But I definitely think that I need to work on a few things and going forward, I know what I need to do and I'm ready.
And you're in the middle of that right now because you are preparing for the NCAA Regional, which
hmm
takes place in a few days, and on November 12th. What do you work on? How do you improve between now and that upcoming race?
Right now, I mean, pretty much the way that we see it is that the hay's already in the barn. All the work's already been done, pretty much. So right now, it's like really just about staying healthy, getting good sleep, making sure our diet's right, so that way we can perform at like the highest level when we go and race at regions. So basically, just taking it easy, just being smart about everything that we do in our daily life, and getting ready. That's pretty much it mentally. Because it's grueling. It's gonna be a 10K, so or 6 miles of racing. So it's tough, but we're ready, I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. The distance does increase with this race, and
Mhm.
you have been in regionals before in your career. Do you still feel the pressure or anticipation for it, or being a senior? Have you gotten used to that, being in this type of a field, in this type of atmosphere?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't actually raced at regions yet.
Oh, okay.
I've gotten pretty unlucky when it comes to my ACCs usually. So, but but being a senior, I definitely feel like I just have this like experience going forward, and like knowing how to approach races, especially races that are so competitive. It's kind of been I've kind of trying to take on a leadership stance on the team, being able to guide my guys, my teammates, the ones who maybe aren't so experienced, so that they like can perform at their best too. Like being that calming presence. That's what I'm trying to go for, because I feel calm about it. I feel like I'm ready, and just want to make sure that the rest of the guys are too.
Yeah, have you seen the course yet in Huntsville, Alabama? Have you gotten a scouting report yet? Have you ever run it before, just through your career? How the preparations go as far as scouting?
Yeah, so I haven't run that course before, but we will be running it. We'll run it like the day before, anyways. But I've done a little bit of like Google Google search about the course, and it seems like it should be a pretty decent course. It's not super hilly, but there definitely going to be some hills there. And I know a bunch of other guys on the team that have run the course before, and just getting some insight from them. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Now, you also run in track. You run, I think, the 800 and the 1600. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah, the
Yeah, because I
15.
know, yeah, distances change all the time with
Mhm.
guys. What's that like for you, just running track and also trying to run cross country? And I don't think you did the indoor season last year, correct, with everything that was going on.
No,
But
unfortunately, I did not. Yeah.
yeah, but how do you balance all of that as far as, because they're very different disciplines, running cross country, and then you run shorter distances compared
Mhm.
to other cross country athletes in track, because a lot of them seem to run 5K, 5K, 10K, like longer. You run some compared to cross country. That's a sprint for you. That's a dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. How do you handle that as far as running those distances on the track compared to cross country?
Well, for that, I just have to give that all to my coach. He makes sure that like the workouts that we do during the cross season are very, very different from the workouts that we do during the track season. So, I mean, during track, just to give you an example, we'll run like 10, 12, 400s at like very fast pace, very grueling, but like with decent amount of rest, and we'll like spike up for the whole thing. Whereas during cross, we'll do a 10-mile tempo. So it's like being able to handle that sort of thing is really just making sure that like your mileage is high. You take easy runs easy. You do lots of recovery. Especially it is tough for being more of a track oriented guy, and but that's about being a good runner. Is just you can't be a one trick pony. You gotta be able to handle it all. So that's the way I see it, and that's the way I approach it.
Do you have a preference as far as favorite sport, as far as your running disciplines?
Yeah, so I definitely really enjoy the 1500. It's probably the event that I'm the best at. So gotta love it for that alone. But I like cross country because it's more of a team oriented thing. It's less of an individual mindset. You can't have an individual mindset when you're running for your guys, because if your team does well, or everyone has to do well for you. Like you lose together and you win together, basically, for cross country. Whereas track is like it's more of individualistic. Both have their ups and downs for me, but I do love both sports. I love the sport in general. So
Yeah. Well, Henry, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And
yeah,
hopefully
thank
we
you
can
so
catch
much.
up in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.